So this is Joshua Hart from JTH Boxing, and today I'm joined by Mark Heffron. Mark, first of all, thank you for joining me today. And how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining me today, like I said. And let's not waste any time and jump straight into this. So first thing I want to do is look back on the year that you've just had. So you started off the year in July by beating Lennox Clark and picking up the British title. How was that whole experience for you and getting your hands on the belt?
Mate, it was an unbelievable experience. The British titles, the belt I've always wanted to get my hands on. Obviously, growing up from a young kid, I've always loved the look of that belt and the champions that have held it as well. I've always watched them all, and yeah, I was just over the moon. And obviously the Commonwealth as well and the IBF. They're two more belts that are that the top belts. You know what I mean? And I was buzzing. I got my hands on them as well.
And you picked up the belts in great style as well, with obviously stopping Lennox in the fifth round. Originally at the time, there was some controversial thoughts about the stoppage, but in the end, I think it looked like it was the right stoppage. You hit him with a good shot, and his legs weren't under him at that point. Um, was there any added satisfaction in winning by stoppage?
Yeah, I was buzzing to get him out of there. Yeah, Lennox was like cocky. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I remember saying to Joe, like, I hope I can get him out of there. But obviously, I didn't go in there looking for that stoppage. I went in there and stuck to a game plan, and the game plan come off. Everything that Joe did with me in training for that 8, 9 weeks of camp, we put it all into play. Yeah.
And would you say the camp preparing for Lennox was probably your toughest camp yet? Obviously, I'm not. Obviously, I know you've had a lot of tough opponents as well. You fought Liam Williams, Denzel Bentley, but was that camp going in for Lennox probably the toughest one you've ever had? Would you say?
Yeah, it was a very tough camp, but I'd say it was probably the first camp where I've proper listened and I've stuck to a game plan. And I remember being, during the fight, I remember thinking to myself, like the stuff like what Joe was saying to me, what Lennox was going to do. Lennox did it, and the shots I was catching, and you know what I mean, and throwing off, and it was just it was mad. It was like a computer game. So it was, man.
And after that Lennox Clark performance, you then went out and got an eight-rounder under your belt in Manchester. Obviously, you didn't get the 8 rounds. Instead, you got a first-round stoppage. What was that like? Was that just a fight just to keep the ball rolling, to keep yourself ticking over?
Yeah, just to keep the ball rolling, keep ticking over, and then after that I went on holiday and that showed out for a bit, had a few weeks off and stuff, and then got back into training. Then I've just been ticking over ever since. I've been waiting for a fight there. So yeah, that's it.
What was it like to be on such a good card as well? As Joe topped by Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker in what ended up that main event ended up being a fight of the year contender. What was it like to be on a pay-per-view bill?
And then, mate, that was a top fight. I didn't stay for the fight. I boxed and then went off, got a pizza and stuff with my girlfriend Rebecca, and then we come back and we watched the fight at home. So yeah, it was good though. It was a very good fight as well.
And also, I want to talk about the plan for this year. Obviously, we've not seen you since that night in Manchester. Have there been any discussions in what we're going to see for the year ahead?
Oh yeah, Zak Chelli's been made mandatory to fight me, so I'm just waiting for that now. That's another top fight. Zak Chelli's a very good fighter, big, strong, and I feel like that makes for a good fight. So I'm just waiting now. I spoke to my manager 2 days ago, and yeah, it seems quite positive now. Hopefully in the next week or two, I'll have a fight there and go into camp. I'm looking forward to it.
So obviously, without overlooking the Zak Chelli fight, because obviously Zak Chelli is no walkover. This is a very, very game opponent. Once that fight is out of the way, are you going to be looking to try and defend your British title that many times that you become the outright champion, or will it be beat Zak Chelli and then try and push on for a European or even a world level opponent?
Well, I would like to win the British outright, so I've got to throw the British at home with. But just got to see what happens. And like I say, I would never look past Zak Chelli because he's a top fighter. And, but yeah, like if I could go on and win the British outright, I'd like to do that. But if not, then I've had my eyes set on that Kevin Sadjo a little bit. Obviously, I'm not looking past Zak Chelli, but yeah, I like the look of Kevin Sadjo. That's another good fight for me.
Do you reckon Sadjo is the kind of fighter that's perfect for you almost to break down. Obviously, again, Sadjo, he's no joke. That is a fight against Jack Cullen when he beat him in the sixth round. So obviously, again, it shows that he's very game and we can get it done on away soil. Obviously, again, without overlooking Zak Chelli, is Sadjo another? Would you like to have them both in the same year?
100%, mate. If I could do that and get both wins, I'd be buzzing. I'd be like I've got no injuries after the Zak Chelli fight. I'd be happy to go into the Kevin Sadjo fight
And when do you reckon we'll see the Zak Chelli fight? Obviously, like you said, I know you're still waiting on a few things, but in an ideal world, when would you like to face him?
soon. As soon as well, as soon as they can get it on. Do you know what I mean? Like in the next 10 weeks, if they can get it on, or 8 weeks, just give me the right camp and I'm good to go.
And without obviously giving away too much, what's your prediction for that fight?
Heffron win definitely. Whether it's a knockout or whether it's points, I'll have a game plan and I'll stick to it.
Mark, thank you for your time today. Obviously I didn't know anything about this Zak Chelli fight beforehand, and hearing this, I'm very excited for that fight. I've been watching you for a while. I've had my eye on Zak Chelli, and I think that's a fight that I think it create a really, really good one. So thank you for your time today, and best of luck when that fight comes around.